Hello everyone. I got this I got a new motorcycle to work on. It's a little project bike I picked up. I got it from somebody in San Francisco for $500. And this is a 2000 Kawasaki ZR-7. It's the plain ZR-7, not the S model, because it's a totally naked bike version. So basically, what a ZR-7 is, well, I used to have a Zephyr, and a Zephyr is it's like kind of like a modern retro bike with the air-cooled inline four. Well, this is like a updated version of that, and it's much more sporty bike than a Zephyr, that's for sure. And I really like the inline fours. So they're so smooth, they got good torque. It's not the most powerful of bikes, but this bike is a lot of fun to ride. It's a standard, so it's made to be ridden upright. You can see from the handlebars. But it's got this big old gas tank. By the way, this is almost like a 5-gallon tank almost, so you can get some good range out of it. And it's a big enough tank where you can lean on it. So, but it's kind of weird because the bars are high, so it's not very comfortable to ride that way for long. Plus it's naked, and the wind just beats you up all the time. But yeah, I got it for $500. There was a bunch of problems with it. The biggest problem being that the cam chain tensioner, this guy right here, you can see it sticking out the engine right there, and I guess it was loose, and the chain was rattling a lot, and that's not good, because you could set the timing off and maybe bend the valves or something. So I found out in the manual that there was a little arrow that tells you which way it's supposed to point, and it's supposed to point to the left. Well, this one was on the right, so apparently whoever put that back in didn't put it in the right direction. So all I didn't even take it out. I just took out the bolts, I flipped it around, put it back in, and it was quiet again. Still kind of noisy. I think it needs a valve adjustment, but my goals for this bike were I have a GPC 750 turbo engine, and supposedly it's the same engine, like it should bolt right in, except it's got a turbocharger. So we'll see how that works out. But I might just ride this engine till it loads up, and then put that turbo engine in there. But yeah, it's got some problems. It looks like it's been laid down already. It's got some Kawasaki crash bars. Tank's all dented up. Seats all torn. The good thing about this, the parts are easier to find than the Zephyr. It's still kind of like a one-off bike that Kawasaki made, but I like it. And then I'm planning to get rid of this big, yucky-looking fender. That's like one of the most hideous large fenders I've ever seen. I'm probably just going to cut it down and put some smaller turn signals. So far, I've just been doing maintenance on it. I've changed the plug caps, new NGK plug caps, new spark plug wires. Runs a lot smoother now. There's a ton of rust on it because it was in San Francisco, and all that sea air made it rust. So, but that's nothing like a little Scotch-Brite pad won't fix. Like even these forks, I could probably get rid of all that rust. No problem. It's got some tanks kind of beat up, but still okay. It's clean inside. It's got a crash bar on the other side. And another reason why the bike isn't worth a lot is because it has a ton of miles. It has 53,000 miles, but the guy said the odometer doesn't work, but and it seems to work fine. I put this Sigma bike computer on it. People say it's really good, and it is pretty good. It's really accurate, and it's pretty much the same. The trip and the odometer is the same. In fact, this one rolls faster than this one. So I don't know what he's saying about it being wrong. Maybe he estimated that this bike has about 75,000 on it because the odometer rolls slow or something. But it seems to be fine for now. Like all the well, not the GBZ, but like the Zephyr, it's got some really good stopping power in the front. It's got dual discs and a dual piston. I think the GPZ, I don't like the brakes on those so much, but it could be because it's leaking oil from the forks. This one, the fork seals are, the fork dust seals are cracked, but it's not leaking or anything. He says the front forks are kind of weak, and I think that's just a normal thing with the bike, but yeah, with those many miles, I'd imagine the fork springs are weak, so I might do something to make it a little stiffer. You can put spacers on it or something. I've cleaned the chain, adjusted it. Chain's good so far. I dented this muffler. It was a nice muffler. I dented it getting it on the trailer when I drove it. When I picked it up, it's got some scratches on it, but this exhaust sounds fantastic on this bike. It's not loud, but it's still kind of nice and throaty sound. Sounds great. Another different thing with the Zephyr is this one has a TPS, throttle position sensor. So I guess maybe it has more. It's more accurate timing advance than the Zephyr. So yeah, it's just basically a Zephyr with just a little bit more, modern. Here's what this engine sound like. It's already warmed up, so. You can hear a tapping sound, but it was much worse than that, trust me. And it goes away when you get gas. That was pretty fast, goes to 10,000 RPM. It's got some pretty good tires on it. It handles like a dream. And I'm planning to put some Clubman bars, try them out. If I don't like them, I might try putting some dirt bike bars on it. I'm not sure what I want to do, but the Clubman bars, they'll come out further and then they'll sweep back a little, so I can actually lean on the tank and it'll be comfortable. But if I don't like it, I might just go back with these or something else. And it's very smooth on the freeway. You can probably ride it all day long. And the vibration feels not bad. It's got something interesting about this bike. It has running lights on the front. I don't know. I'm probably going to put some smaller ones and I'm going to lose the running lights. But I don't think you really need a running light because you got the headlight. It looks fine. I guess the more visibility, the better. I might just license some extra LEDs. It's got some pretty good mirrors. Yeah, it's a great bike. Lots of fun. They're cheap. People say they don't handle as good as like a full-blown sports bike, but it seems fine with me. It's got this nice little, it's actually got fuel gauge too, I like that. It's actually got some under seat storage here. Let's see if I can get this. Yeah. I can actually put stuff in there. I got a net and then I got a 12-volt receptacle that I want to install. All the computer, like ignition stuff is here. The battery and the filter. I think apparently this one has a Canon filter already. I gotta go take that out, check it out, clean it. But yeah, it's a good fun. And one day it may have a turbocharger on it. It'll be even more fun. It's gonna be some work though. Okay, but right now I'm having fun fixing it up, riding it around. I think it's probably the best deal I've ever had. I got on a bike, $500 for a running bike with, yeah, it ran when I got it. I was surprised, and it ran good. It's got some good power. For 50,000 miles, that's a lot for a bike, but these are very reliable. And like I said, I have another engine to put in, so it's all good. It's all good. Another problem with this bike is that, well, it's super dirty, but if you can see that rotor there, that rotor is done. I have no rear brake at all on this, so. But I'm getting another rear rotor, and man, it's ridiculous how much motorcycle rotors are. They're so much smaller than a car rotor, but they cost so much for just one. It's not so bad looking on this side, but apparently the dude ran it, the pads down all the way, and he kept on using it, I guess, and it ate into the rotors, so those rotors are done. But it has new pads, so I guess it would be in my best interest to get some new rotors as soon as possible, so I don't ruin those pads. The cool thing is it's got a side stand. It's got a center stand too. It's not too hard to get up on there too. It kind of helps with the maintenance and when storing it. It's straight up. And, I like it. It's a nice little sporty bike. I think I remember seeing one of these the first time at San Jose State when I was going to school there. I saw one. I was like, hey, look at that. It looks like a Zephyr, but it's not really a Zephyr. It's like a newer, sportier looking Zephyr, and that's exactly what it is. But have some fun on it. My Zephyr was a 550, so this one's got a little more get up and go.